I got another um, question on my blog, and this is a woman that's looking in the mirror and not necessarily appreciating what she sees, and she's not liking the aging process. You know, when we were young, we don't really think about this, but when we start hitting probably 50 or so, um, we notice a bit the skin is a little less tight unless we work really diligent at it. If we work out and keep ourselves in shape, then we may not have this. But most people are not as busy working out every day, and they're putting energies into other things. So if you're starting to have the aging process and you're not working at neutralizing it with exercise and fitness and eating well, how are you going to love yourself, right? That's the question. How do you come to grips with the idea that you're starting to fade and you're not looking like you're 20 anymore? And while there is definitely other benefits in your life, I'm 70 this year in a few months, and I don't definitely look like I did when I was 20. My hair is receded, my gums are receded. Things are definitely not the same. The skin is different. There's lots of things different, and yeah, that's not the. If you could have the same knowledge you have and the experience you have and the wealth you have and everything else as you're older and still have the youth, that might be a different story. So first of all, get grounded in reality of what you're capable of doing. Now, there are people out there that do work out and get themselves in shape and use whatever tools are available today in dermatology and other systems for youth, and they can maximize their youthful potential for as long as they can. I have nothing against those things. That's fantastic. If that's out there, you grab it. It's like go get a haircut to make yourself trimmed. Go get your teeth cleaned or whatever. These are things that help maintain your youth and beauty. I think that's reasonable. It's in fact smart. And let yourself go is not wise. But at the same time, there's probably a limit on it. Um, I've seen some 100-year-olds that work out and they're in pretty good shape, but they still look like they're not quite 40 or 30. So we got to be grounded. So we have to appreciate the benefits of the aging process. We are going to have a finite period of time on the planet. I've not seen anybody over 128 years, I think, is about as long as it gets. Maybe one at 145, supposedly, but that's questionable. So you're going to age. So you might as well write down the benefits of aging and what's the benefits you're getting out of it. I can say right now, when I was in my 20s, I had a lot more financial stress than I have today. So I've got the benefits of now less financial stress, but I don't look the same. I don't think as many people looking at me as it once was. So I'm getting the benefits. So stacking up the advantages and benefits in each of the 7 areas of your life. So how your intellect has been advantaged, how your business has been advantaged, your spirituality, your relationship, your social connections, and stack up the benefits of being the age you are, and stack up the benefits also of having your body start to show some signs of the chronology. If you stack up the benefits, you're not looking at the downsides. And stop comparing yourself to people that are in a position, unless you're willing to do the work on their physical body, stop comparing yourself to people that are more youthful. Because one, it's unrealistic. It'd be unrealistic for me to try to compete with a 20-year-old on a physical body and tone. And I can work out and I do work out, but I'm not going to be a 20-year-old tone very easily, not without a lot of work. If I'm willing to put in the work and that's highest on my values and I'm willing to do the due diligence to do it, well, then that's okay. But comparing yourself to other people can beat yourself up because you're setting up a fantasy of how you should be. So honor it and start stacking up the benefits of what you have, because there are things that are to your advantage. I was talking to a 93-year-old and a 91-year-old the other day, and they've been married for 68 years. Okay, goes all the way back to high school. They were lovers, right? Key high school sweethearts. Well, they married and together. They're 91, 93. Not bad. Pretty good. Not too many people make it that long. But in the process of doing it, um, I was asking them, what's it like to be 68 years in marriage? And they said, well, we've had times we wanted to throw in the towel, we want to kill each other, and all the basic stuff that goes with a marriage. And other times we sit there and go, thank God she's still there, and thank God he's there. So it goes gyrating with all kinds of emotions. Now, he's a handsome guy, and she was. I actually asked her one time, if you come across some pictures of you when you're in your 20s and 30s, I'd be interested in seeing them just to see how you age, because you're still a very elegant, beautiful woman. And she was, she liked that, of course, but it was true. And in his eyes, in her eyes, they still look good. But they've aged. They've got wrinkles and sagging skin and all the basic stuff. And they don't think they work. Maybe they work out once a week or twice a week. That's not their highest value. I know a guy that's really up in age. He's 88 now, and he works out every single day. And he looks like he's about 68. So he's counterbalancing it, but he's putting the effort into it. So if you're not willing to put the effort into it, it's unrealistic expectation. And if you compare yourself to other people, you've got an unrealistic expectation. If you compare yourself to what you were when you were younger, you got an unrealistic expectation. If you're not stopping and looking at all the benefits you have in your life now that's offsetting the downsides of the sags and the bags, then write them down and start neutralizing them. And then ask, what's the benefit of having the skin the way it is, or the gums the way it is, or whatever is happening, the hair the way it is. Whatever you're judging in yourself, don't compare it to somebody else that's younger or whatever, or maybe working at it and has a different set of values. Anytime you compare yourself to somebody with a different set of values, you're going to beat yourself up. So go and stack up the benefits of who you are. When you can love for who you are, man, you're able to be grateful for your life again. And there is an elegance. There's some beauty about the aging process. And there's definitely some advantages that I have today, now that I'm older, that I didn't have in my 20s. And so if I was to ask, would I like that physical body? But I have to go back to, if I could have that physical body and have magic wand, have the physical body like I had, do I want to have the financial challenges I had then and the relationship challenges and raising young kids again? No, thank you. I love my kids, but I don't know if I'd want to go through that cycle of the early years again. I appreciate that, but at the same time, I don't know if I could put up with that today. Crying babies and diapers and stuff. I wouldn't do that. So the question is, do you want that? Well, with it comes these crazies. As Samuel Beckett and C.S. Lewis said, pain and pleasures can serve through time and space. It's just changing form. The pains and pleasures you had in your 20s, you may have had a nice, pleasureful body and toned body. You could work out, but you may have had financial and social and business challenges. Now you have those stabilized, and now you may have some physical challenges. Honor the transformation and know the conservation. The hedonic treadmill of pain and pleasure in life is always balanced. Find the benefits and advantages you have today. Appreciate what they are. The price of a little bitty sagging skin may be worth it. And you may find out that I wouldn't want to go back. I'd be appreciative of what I've got. When you appreciate where you are and not compare it to a fantasy of how it could be, should be, would have been, who's to be, or have to be, or whatever, you'll appreciate your life and you'll realize that. And so look in the mirror and be appreciative of what you've got, and you'll get more to be appreciative of.